Hey internet and you amazing creatures of the beyond. I am back and I have finished this crest after many attempts to just not going crazy. Uh, I've encountered some issues. Just as I was about to finish the last part of this, put some highlights from this crystal around here. The freaking Inkscape just decided to murder me. And uh, there was an error. Well, not an error. It was basically killing the process of the application. Uh, be careful when you're doing clipping masks with mirror effects or effects in general, path effects in general. It's kind of iffy sometimes, and I know it's a very complicated software, so obviously there's gonna be some issues here and there. I don't understand why this behavior happened exactly, but once I removed and recreated that part, it took me an hour. It was just so annoying because I was lagging through zooming in, selecting, and it was just a nightmare. Anyway, I fixed it. I fixed it. That is important. Okay, so let's see what we have done here because I have actually done a few things and I don't see where I put. Right. Okay, these ones are not on top. Now they're on top. Good, good, good. Now it looks better. So I have added a lot of new details since last we left it. I've introduced some details over here, some details on these fins or legs, crab legs, whatever. I've created this crystal and we'll kind of look in more detail how I've made this one. Then I've added some reflection from this crystal on the surfaces around it. Not too strong, but just enough to point out. Maybe this one could be a tiny bit more obvious. Like a 60. Let's go with a 60. Yeah. Don't die on me, please. Oh my god. You're just crazy. Don't scare me. Okay, so this area is going to highlight the crystal better. Then I've added some vents here on our toilet seat and a bit of details here. Nothing too crazy. Then I thought I should add some ribs on this side because it was looking kind of bold. Yeah, I've done quite a bit of stuff. So a lot of gradients, a lot of mirrors. Here, if you can see, and an important aspect that we haven't covered. So here I have fused the parts, but I have created this as a separate element and this one as well in order to use fuse parts. But for the big one, I have chosen to split the element. And the reason for this, and I'll show you in a moment why. Let's make a new thing. So let's say we're going to take this square here. Let's make it like so. And when we are like this, if we are going to create a path effect on it and add a mirror, yeah, we're getting what we expected, a separate thing. But now, here, I'm not selecting anything. So if I'm gonna select gradient on this, and I'm just gonna push like this, you can see something is happening. This is considered as a hole, yeah, but it's not. Now, I can fuse the opposite sides and everything, but it's not gonna do anything. The moment I split the elements, then the gradient goes. Well, you have to redo this because basically it's creating a separate element, which is a bit weird. As you can see here, it creates a second path. So you have to regenerate it sometimes. I don't know. It's kind of weird. That's how you have to do it with, and it's a bit tricky, especially if you have a fused path. It's not gonna work, and I don't know. It's sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know. It's very complicated to do it this way. I would rather just create the gradient as a separate thing and put it on top of both of these elements. But yeah, if you want to, if they're separated like this, uh, like this, there is a gap between them, then you do not have an issue. But depends, it's complicated. So yeah. Anyway, enough of the gradient lessons today. Um, yeah, so I went in and did a lot of details. I try to kind of follow a flow to the design. I don't know, uh, something that would kind of fit with the colors and complement each other. It looks a little bit like the remnant design or the domain probes. Somewhere there, I don't know. And yeah, yeah, the supports here are. I don't know. There were some things that I thought were missing, too many gaps, but somehow I stabilized it. And then these two elements are here to just give it a bit of volume so they don't look so bland. And it looks nice on this background, I will have to admit. I don't know how it's gonna look in the game, but you know, right now, right here, it looks nice. And of the damn it. Um where are you? Here. This is the crystal. So for the crystal, actually, the crystal took a lot of trial and error, and I had to look at a lot of references. Mm, but the idea is to do it very sloppy in order to give it this more organic look. Well, not necessarily organic, but the surfaces need to be as not so fluid. So if you look here, you can see that I didn't make straight lines. I kind of tried to jiggle it a little bit and try to push them one within the other. So if I could select it, it's quite a few nodes, but I did them individually initially and then I have combined them to make it easy. So I've kept one color, then I gave it a gradient to go a bit more darker on the bottom. This was the centerpiece, so this one had to be the biggest one in my opinion, and this one was kind of the border between the upper top, which is more translucent, and the bottom part, kind of a little darker. It's difficult. The light is coming sort of this way in this angle. Um, and it's kind of tricky because if you look here, this color kind of transcends into this color, but this color doesn't transcend into these other ones. So you kind of have to mismatch a bit the colors because each element has to have a glint of its own. You have to understand that the angles kind of reflect into each other. It's kind of weird with crystals. So I kept the lighter part on this side, and then I slowly came this way. And then I just added some sloppy things here, just smudges and whatever, just to give it a bit of a texture. Nothing too crazy, and just on a few of them, not all of them. But one other important thing, when I did this part up here, I thought to myself, it looks a bit too sharp. And one way to kind of trick your way into it is to add, like, I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm gonna upload this eventually so you can test it. There is this subtle line here, which is underneath the white line. Um, and this kind of gives it a bit of a shadow, so it kind of gives this three-dimensional view. I don't know. I thought it would add, but only on the lighter sides and not too much. Just the things that would point up towards. This one I thought it should stay very sharp, a very sharp edge, just as on the bottom. And that way we can kind of give it the impression of, I don't know, that it's cut, it's a piece of jewelry in a way. I don't know. It feels right. I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah, and I left this background just to get an idea how it would look. It would blend into the environment, blend into this background, and then I gave it a bit of a blur here, glow on the background. But I did, if I could move you, I did leave this shape behind it just in case I needed to have a backup to kind of know where to orient and stuff. That's the template after which I've built the rest of the things. Yeah. All in all, I think it ended up okay. It looks weird, but weird is also a good thing. Weird is interesting, so that's what art is all about. And yeah, I'm curious how the next crests are going to end up. I have a few more ideas, but right now this is just cool. Cool, cool, cool. Well, I hope you guys like it. I didn't want to do it in real life with you guys because it took so many hours to reach to this point, and I wasn't feeling so great today, and I was just doing this and taking a lot of breaks in between. And I don't know. It it's the creative process always takes the longest, and I did a lot of things, then I removed them. So I don't want to bore you guys. It's more interesting if you go to the end, and if I inspire you to do something similar and to challenge you to kind of try to mimic, well, not mimic, but try to um, force you to find my techniques without showing you to them. But obviously, it's things that we've done before. It's easy things, just gradients, shapes, this and that. Try not to be a copy paste cat. Just do your own thing. Throw things there, mix them together, see if they look nice. If they don't look nice, just throw a grenade and smash them all over the place, and then gather them again and create I don't know, a Transformers. I don't know. Your mind is limitless in your imagination. Well, I'm gonna go back in my hibernation mode because, yeah, I'm not gonna play today. I'm too tired. You guys stay awesome, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Bye, 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 bye.